So I had this brilliant idea yesterday and thought I'd share it. A little vloggy vlog, awaken vlog. Yeah, so here it is anyways. It's just thinking about working and making a living and how it's so much easier for people in unions and why that is. What does the union do exactly? And there's a lot of stuff, they have a lot of different branches of the union and different, capacities that they work in. But, the main thing is just like guaranteeing like simple things, that you take for granted, like sick days or, paid holidays or, just little things like that. So I was thinking there should be some sort of, you can set up a non-for-profit 501c3, and fund it, initially through some kind of government, grant or whatever, or something, but basically it would be, a national union in a sense, set up, by the government. And it really only needs to cover, a few basic things to facilitate, this is the main part, is to facilitate the hiring of workers in the open marketplace, for private companies to hire them, because the big gripe with companies is like, they don't want to pay, fucking all that extra benefits, they just want a straight up deal where they pay, what they pay and that's it, So if, certain things were guaranteed to every worker regardless, and I think, this union could be set up in a way that it would guarantee you, let's say, 5 sick days a year paid by the union. You don't even have to go to work or whatever. You get that paid. That's whenever you take those sick days, you say, listen, I'm taking these sick days. I need to get paid for that. And it's paid by the union at some, reasonable rate. And you get also holidays. There's like 12 federal holidays. Those are all paid, guaranteed by the union. So those are, that's something that you have, like, and you can take off from work and you're not going to lose a day's pay, and that's just something that you're just guaranteed. Also, basic workers' compensation and stuff like that would be paid by the union. So, you don't even have to argue with the job. There's not going to be any pressure from the job on how long they're going to pay that, because they're not paying it, so they're not worried about it. They're like, it's out of their hands. That's the workers' compensation handled by this union. As well, I think there should also be some sort of safety net for people who get into a job and realize it's not for them, they don't like the work or whatever. For whatever reason, they feel that they need to change career paths or change jobs or relocate or whatever. Call it, reevaluating of career month. So you got a paid month no matter what if you're switching jobs. That's guaranteed, so you have a month that's paid. You have to find another job because you're only getting paid for that 1 month and then it runs out. But there's nothing that the job, you're not stuck at that job. You can leave at any time. If there's bullshit, whatever, you're not stuck. You can just leave. You have guaranteed a month pay. You can go find something else, no problem. So you're never stuck at a job because you need that next check and whatever. And if they're bullshitting you with your checks and they're not coming on time and all this yada yada, you can just leave at any time. So that's a protection to, the worker. The worker can say, this is bullshit here, I have to move on, and they're not going to worry about, that month. They're going to worry about next month. They're going to say, well, I got to get another job, but for this month, if there's bullshit, I have to switch. We're in a bad way here. And also there's the biggest issue, the biggest benefit is healthcare, which I don't think this should be touched by this, proposed union that I'm suggesting. I believe whoever the next president-elect will be, I think they're going to propose some kind of single-payer healthcare so everybody's covered. Now, anybody who's not covered by their job is, obviously people who are looking for work. Now, those people who would be then now covered by this single-payer healthcare would be looking for a job and not be looking to get one with benefits paid by the job. So the job can just hire, not worrying about that aspect. Now, some jobs, they have, a 90-day waiting period, and then the benefits kick in. That's all fine. You can have, those provisions and stuff like that. But initially, when the employer hires, they don't have to worry about covering that employee for health coverage because it's already going to be single payer. Just like the rest of the civilized world, we're all going to have health care guaranteed. And especially, most importantly, to those most vulnerable, those unemployed people looking for work, especially to cover those people, and especially to, let their employer be secure and know that, if anything physically, health-related happens to their employee, they're covered. They don't have to worry about that. So that's taken care of. So now, you have basically what this union would just do is just, guarantee 5 sick days a year, guaranteed holidays off. I think the program could be expanded to say guarantee, 2 weeks vacation a year as well. I think that could come later on. The question is, how do you pay for all this? Because it's not like, people are like, I don't want to pay taxes, like more taxes, like to pay for this. That sounds like bullshit, but you know what? I kind of tend to agree with you, but that's like a fucking Republican gut reaction to anything. Anything new you hear, that costs money. I don't want to pay for that. That's like, but if you hear any of those arguments, they're always arguing, oh, I work so somebody else could have something. But if you're talking about a union that you're paying dues into, everybody that pays into it and every single person that benefits from it worked. There's nobody that didn't work. So do you have a problem paying for something that you benefit from your own work? Do you have a problem paying into something that everybody that pays into it works and benefits from it? No, I don't think so. That argument doesn't hold up. So, if you had just $10 a paycheck, everybody just paid it, and you say $10 ain't shit. What's that? That's $10 a pay period. Say there's 25 pay periods in a year. You're talking about like $250 a year? And you get all that? You get how could you possibly get 5 days off paid, 12 holidays paid, and all that for just $10 out of each of your paychecks? You say, wow, this seems impossible. But it works. It's a system. Everybody pays into it. The union collects all this money. And whenever people are out sick, go on vacation, that gets paid. But you got such a huge pot that it doesn't matter. Not everybody's going on vacation. All right, everybody goes on the holiday on the same day, granted, but that's not going to break the bank. Everybody takes one day off. That's not going to break the bank. So you got all these people paying in. So you got the union strong. It enables the private sector to hire workers more easily. They're not worried about, paying these people's benefits, and they're not worried about them, walking off the job, whatever. You got more people coming in. There's plenty of people that are ready, willing, and able to work. There's incentive to work. When you work, you get the extra benefits, guaranteed. So there's incentive. If you want to switch jobs every other month and take that month off to find a new job, you might be scamming the system a little bit, yeah, but that's your prerogative. You know what I mean? You're paying for it. You're paying into the system. You might as well take the benefits as they are. Not every job is good. Not every job is worth staying at. Sometimes it's good to bounce around. So, yeah, national union, donation based. So you don't have to pay to it. But let's start the program. Let's see how it goes. Now, once you have this union set up, obviously you can start collecting, complaints about employers. So you could have, an anonymous, website, whatever, you just submit your complaint about said company. You don't have to put your name on it. Or you could fill out, the online form that has all your complete information signed, with your, with your sworn statement about said company. That's fine too. Now, initially it'd just be a website collecting all these complaints, but you could eventually sort them out by company, and somebody could start looking through them, and you could start putting together some ideas about companies and what they do to their workers or for their workers, and so that's the idea. National union. Let's start that shit.